Hey guys! Welcome to Free Tutorial TV and Python Beginner course. In the last video we have seen how to use composition between classes in Python. And this video I'm going to show you how to use class aggregation between two classes in Python. Now if you haven't watched my last video in which I have shown you how to use class composition in Python, I will highly recommend you to watch that video, because I will be using the same code to demonstrate how aggregation works in Python. So in the last video we have created two classes. One is an employee class and the other is the salary class. And then we have used the salary class inside the employee class. And we have seen how composition works in Python. So employee class is delegating some part of its responsibility to the salary class, and that is called the composition. Now in composition the relationship between the classes, which have some association, is represented by a keyword part of. So salary is the part of employee. So the keyword we use in composition is part of. Let's see how we can use aggregation instead of composition between these two classes. So let's say I will not use this salary class inside the employee class. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pass an instance of salary here. So I'm going to just write salary, and this will be the object of salary class, which I'm going to pass init method of the employee class. So let's create an object of the salary. So I'm going to just write salary here, which is equal to the salary class, and we will instantiate this salary class by these two arguments, which we have given in the last video to the employee class. So I'm going to just copy these two arguments and paste it here, and I'm going to remove this comma here. So now what we are doing here is we are first of all instantiating the salary class, and now the second class we can pass to the constructor of the employee class. And this is the object which we have parsed using the salary class object. And then I'm going to take the salary class object and I'm going to assign the salary class object to the member variable of the employee class, which is obj_salary. Now because we are parsing the salary object, that means this member variable is the salary member object. And we can call any public method from the salary class using this member variable now. So let's run the code and let's see what happens, and we get the same result as we have seen in the last video in the composition example. So what we have done differently here. So instead of using the salary class inside the employee class, we have first created an instance of the salary class, and then we have passed this instance to the employee constructor, which can be used inside the employee class. And this type of relationship is called aggregation. Now let's see what are the special properties of the aggregation. The first property is the relationship between the associated classes, and aggregation is defined by the keyword has. So employee has a salary because now we are first of all creating the salary object and then passing it to the employee. So now we are not directly using salary inside the employee class. The second property of aggregation is that associated classes have unidirectional in association. So we are just passing salary object to the employee class. We are not passing employee object to the salary class, so it's a unidirectional association. Only salary can be passed to employee, not the other way around. And the third property of aggregation is we have created the salary object and the employee object. So both these objects are independent of each other. So if one object dies, the other survives. So both the objects are able to survive individually. So these are the three properties of aggregation. Now let's see the difference between the composition and the aggregation. So I'm going to split the screen, so I'm going to just right click on this tab and I will say split word only. And here I'm going to the example of the composition. So on the right hand side I have the example of composition, and on the left hand side I have the example of aggregation. That we just maximize this so you can see it. And now let's discuss about the differences between the composition and aggregation. So the relationship in composition is defined by a keyword called part of. So salary is the part of employee. In aggregation, there is no part of relationship, but the relationship is defined by the keyword called as A. So now in aggregation we are defining the instance of salary and then passing it to the employee class. And salary is not part of the employee class. We are just passing it to the employee class. So aggregation we use has a relationship, and in composition we use part of relationship. The second difference is when you delete the employee object, the salary object will be automatically be deleted. So salary object is dependent on the employee class, but in aggregation the salary object and the employee object are individually independent. So they can survive individually. If one object dies, then it doesn't matter that the other object dies, because we have created these objects individually. Now in composition both salary and employee are interdependent on each other. But in aggregation the relationship is unidirectional. So the association between the employee and the salary object is unidirectional. We can only parse the salary to the employee class, but we cannot pass the employee object to the salary class. So these are the three major differences between composition and aggregation. I hope you have learned something new this time. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe the channel. Have a nice day. See you in next video.